Hey Netflix horror fans, looking for something that'll make you sleep with the lights on tonight? Well, you've come to the right place because we're diving into the 10 most terrifying movies streaming on Netflix right now. We've got demons, deadly creatures, vampire ballerinas, and pensioners out for blood. From psychological nightmares to supernatural terror, these films will have you checking under your bed and locking your doors. So grab your remote, maybe a friend to watch with, and let's count down the scariest movies you can binge on Netflix tonight. Let's get into it. Starting at number 10, No One Gets Out Alive blends immigration horror with ancient Aztec mythology. Ambar, an undocumented immigrant, moves into a cheap Cleveland boarding house after her mother's death, only to find ghostly figures, strange artifacts, and landlords hiding deadly secrets. Red and his disturbed brother Becker are murdering women as sacrifices to an ancient Aztec goddess trapped in a stone box. Eats a papalotl, a monstrous moth-like creature that demands blood. Ambar's vulnerability makes it terrifying. No papers, no money, nowhere to escape. When she's strapped to the altar and the goddess rises, it's pure nightmare fuel. In the chilling twist, Ambar sacrifices Red, her injury heals, and dark veins spread across her skin. She becomes the monster's new keeper. A slow burn that erupts into brutal horror, mixing supernatural terror with harsh reality. Next up, an exorcism film that feels disturbingly real. At number 9, The Old Ways takes exorcism horror to a deeply personal level. Christina, a journalist returning to her Mexican hometown, is kidnapped and chained in a hut by a bruja named Luz, who insists she's possessed by Posteki, the death god of broken things. Christina is also fighting heroin addiction, blurring the line between demon and withdrawal, until she starts vomiting hair and black liquid, proving the possession is horrifyingly real. Posteki targets her trauma and depression, feeding on the pain from her childhood and addiction, making the battle painfully personal. The exorcism is brutal and visceral, and Luz's self-sacrifice to rip out the demon's heart is devastating. In the end, Christina wins through compassion, embracing her scars and becoming the new bruja to protect others. Next up is a thriller that'll make you fear even the smallest sound. Number 8 is The Silence, and it's a quiet place meets apocalyptic chaos. Cave explorers unleash vesps, blind prehistoric creatures that hunt by sound, forcing the world into deadly silence as swarms attack anything that makes noise. Allie, a deaf teenager, becomes her family's greatest asset, guiding them through a world where even the smallest sound means instant death. The tension never lets up. Barking dogs, ringing phones, and human panic constantly threaten to draw the monsters closer. A fanatic cult called the Hushed, who cut out their tongues, tries to capture Allie, and her grandmother's sacrifice to save her is heartbreaking. They finally reach Alaska, safe from the cold-sensitive vesps, but Allie questions how long that safety will last. Next up is a medical horror hiding a terrifying family secret. At number 7, Eli flips the haunted house genre on its head with a twist you won't see coming. Young Eli suffers from extreme allergies and lives in a protective suit, so his parents take him to an isolated clinic for experimental treatment, but the facility feels dangerously haunted. Ghostly messages spell out "lie," and Eli learns previous patients died during treatment, making him suspect the doctor is hiding something terrifying. The truth is worse. Eli isn't sick. He's the son of Satan, and the treatment is actually an exorcism meant to destroy him. When he realizes this, Eli unleashes his powers, stopping the ritual and turning the room into chaos with brutal supernatural force. After killing his father in self-defense, Eli meets another demon child who invites him to join their dark family. Next up is a psychological horror that'll make you fear strangers. Number 6 is Creep, and this found footage thriller is disturbingly perfect. Videographer Aaron accepts a job filming Joseph, a man claiming he's dying and wants messages for his unborn son, but the situation quickly feels wrong. Joseph grows increasingly bizarre, wearing a wolf mask called Peach Fuzz, making disturbing confessions and constantly crossing boundaries that scream danger. Aaron keeps trying to leave, but Joseph manipulates him emotionally, trapping him in a cycle of fear and sympathy. The brilliance is how the film pulls you in, making you understand why Aaron hesitates despite the obvious threat. In the end, Aaron meets Joseph in public to reconcile, only to be suddenly murdered, and Joseph calmly adds the footage to his collection of victims. The killer, now using a new name, calls his next target, leaving a haunting sense of endless terror. Next up, a horror where your digital identity becomes your worst nightmare. At number 5, Cam is a psychological tech thriller that's disturbingly relevant. Alice, a cam girl obsessed with her ranking, pushes extreme stunts to rise on the charts until she's suddenly locked out of her own account. A perfect doppelganger takes over her channel, copying her appearance and personality in real time, erasing Alice from her digital identity. The fake version humiliates her publicly, exposing her secret life while authorities refuse to take her seriously. Alice discovers other performers replaced by identical replicas, hinting at a terrifying, unexplained force behind the doubles. She defeats her copy by proving her humanity in a brutal imitation game and deletes the account to reclaim herself. Starting over with her mother's support, Alice chooses identity over fame. Next up is a horror about obsession that turns deadly. At number 4, The Stylist is a slow-burn character study of loneliness and murder. Claire is a quiet Kansas City hairdresser hiding a brutal secret. She murders clients, scalps them, and keeps their hair in her basement to escape her crushing self-hatred. She isn't driven by simple evil, but by a desperate loneliness, trying to become someone else by literally wearing stolen identities. When her friend Olivia invites her to style hair for a wedding, Claire struggles to connect with the bridal party and feels every rejection deeply. Unable to suppress her urges, Claire murders Olivia, steals her scalp, and walks down the aisle wearing her dress, pretending to be the bride. When the illusion shatters and guests flee in horror, Claire is left crying, realizing she still can't escape herself. It's a disturbing yet tragic portrait of isolation and mental collapse that lingers long after it ends. Next up, a historical mystery with a supernatural twist. At number 3, Devil's Pass explores one of history's creepiest unsolved mysteries. 5 students travel to Russia to investigate the Dyatlov Pass incident, documenting their journey as officials seem determined to suppress their findings. As they retrace the doomed hiker's route, bizarre signs appear: vanishing footprints, distant howls, broken equipment, and a weather tower hiding something grotesque. They uncover a sealed bunker filled with evidence of secret teleportation experiments tied to a massive conspiracy. When armed soldiers attack, the survivors flee inside and encounter mutated creatures capable of teleporting through space. Escaping through a wormhole, 2 students accidentally travel back to 1959 and realize they've become part of the original tragedy. The final reveal shows their transformed bodies awakening in the bunker, trapped in a horrifying time loop. Next up is a beautifully twisted French horror tale. At number 2, Livid is a gothic nightmare of greed, vampires, and body swapping. Lucy, a young nurse, breaks into a reclusive ballet teacher's mansion with 2 accomplices, chasing rumors of hidden treasure. Inside, they find eerie displays of stuffed animals and a preserved ballerina figure that feels disturbingly alive. Once a key is turned, the mansion seals shut and ghostly ballerinas begin hunting them through the halls. The truth emerges. The household hides vampires, and the ballerina Anna has been sustained by blood for years. A ritual swaps Lucy and Anna's souls, unleashing surreal body horror as a mother tries to reclaim her daughter. The 2 girls ultimately overthrow their captor, and Lucy transcends her broken body in a haunting finale. It's visually stunning, twisted, and unforgettable. Next comes our number 1 film, where vengeance takes a chilling form. And number 1 goes to Old People, an unexpected horror premise that turns brutally savage. A mother returns to her rural hometown with her children for a wedding, only to face a terrifying uprising of violent elderly residents. These seniors aren't weak or helpless. They're organized, relentless, and hunting the younger generation without mercy. The story reveals years of neglect and resentment, fueling their bloody rebellion against a society that abandoned them. By twisting our assumptions about age and vulnerability, the film delivers non-stop tension and shocking violence. At its core, it's a fierce survival story as a mother fights desperately to protect her kids. Brutal, provocative, and unforgettable, it earns the top spot with sheer nerve and terror. And there you have it, the 10 scariest movies streaming on Netflix right now. So which one are you brave enough to watch tonight? Already seen some of these? Which one scared you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear which movie gave you nightmares. And if this list helped you find your next horror binge, smash that like button and subscribe for more scary content. Thanks for watching, and remember, maybe keep a light on tonight. Sweet dreams, or should I say, sweet screams.